Why would anybody pay more than $500 for a guitar? Hey everybody, Jayce Allan here. Welcome back to the channel. So I want you to listen to these two audio clips real quick. It's kind of a song that I quickly put together that's loosely patterned after Tom Petty's Honeybee. Hopefully the censors don't flag this one as a copyright infringement. But anyway, listen to these two clips and tell me which guitar you think is the most expensive. Did you pick it out? You had a 50-50 chance to get it right. Clip A was a Westcreek Les Paul style guitar that I won from Fret Not Guitar giveaway. A little bit more on that later. And clip B was a Heritage H150 Les Paul style guitar, the older standard 1 version. They've come up with a standard 2 version. A little bit more on that later. So which one did you guess? Was it the more expensive guitar or was it the cheaper budget guitar? So I do a lot of guitar reviews on the channel. I talk a lot about budget guitars and inexpensive guitars, and I kind of shoot them out sometime between more expensive guitars. And there's this whole debate and argument about which guitars are better. Well, I'm not here to talk about which ones are better. I'm here to talk about which ones are a better value for you and whether or not an expensive guitar makes a difference if you're just recording music in your home studio or if you're just playing in a bedroom setting. That's not to say that you shouldn't go out and buy an expensive guitar if you want one, but a lot of people get this sort of mentality that they need to upgrade their hardware, they need to play an expensive guitar in order to sound good. Did you think either one of those clips sounded better or worse than the other? I think they sounded kind of the same, to be honest with you, but a lot of people will say, well, you don't have the ear, you don't have the developed ear because you're not an advanced player. Well, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of this channel, is to talk about intermediate players, beginner players, people playing in their home studio like me, people recording to, available software with audio interfaces and maybe crappy mics and whatever, maybe using amp modelers. And so for us, I think that it doesn't make much sense to spend more than $500 on a guitar. But again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't if you can afford it. What I'm saying is you'll sound pretty darn good without spending a ton of money. So that's just kind of one example. And so today I'm reviewing this guitar here. This is the Westcreek Underdog. Actually, I won this from Fret Not Guitars. So we're talking about guitar cost. So if you don't want to spend anything on a guitar, then head on over to Fret Not, link in the description, and they give away guitars basically every week. I think they may have give away more than one guitar a week. But anyway, this is a $229 guitar right now available on Amazon. So let's talk about the specs on this real quick. I think this is the Cherry Burst. I don't know if these are available still on Amazon. These are one of those brands that kind of come and go on Amazon, but you can get really great guitars for not a lot of money if you check out Amazon or Reverb, and even some of the name brands like Epiphone will get you a good deal on a guitar. So this is a two-piece mahogany body, and of course people will argue, oh, well, it's not That's not the right kind of mahogany. The right kind of mahogany. Two-piece body. The seam is kind of off on an angle. That's kind of interesting. The neck is a two-piece neck. This is it says maple for the neck material. So you got a maple neck with a scarf joint here and the little volute, I guess they call that there. And it's a set neck, and it's got a really nice looking heel contour on it. And it actually has the belly carve on the back as well. Fit and finish on the control plates is really nice, nicely done. Probably a maple veneer for the top, but it's really nice looking. It's got almost book matched on it there. It's pretty close. It's really nice looking paint job. These are the stainless ball end frets. The neck is basically the same as this is my Heritage H150. That's got a solid one-piece body, probably a 5/8 inch thick maple cap. Not exactly book matched on that, not even close. Set neck, mahogany one-piece neck on this, and this is the genuine mahogany. So I don't know if that makes a difference or not. They're basically the same weight. The Westcreek is probably pretty close to 10 pounds. I think the Heritage was pretty close to 10 pounds. So let's check that out real quick. Oh, 9 exactly, 9.1 actually. So that's not too bad, but still heavy. So it's a sort of a traditional Les Paul. This is a rosewood fretboard. It's pretty porous up here. It's nice looking. The inlays aren't the greatest. This is a rosewood fretboard. Also, the inlays in these are the sort of the, I don't know what you call those, parallelogram, trapezoid, whatever the heck it is. And these are kind of a three-piece triangle shape. That's kind of cool. Bone nut on that one. I think this is a bone nut, if I'm not mistaken. Humbuckers, I'm not sure what we got for Alnico. Okay, so they're dual humbuckers. They're Alnico magnets. And three-way switch, all the same components there. These are just sort of a no-name tuner on them. The tuners on the Heritage are actually these are Heritage branded, but I think they're Grover, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. It's been a while since I looked at the specs on these. So then there one sort of odd thing about this Westcreek is, well, first of all, it arrived with a little chip out of the paint in the headstock. Not sure if that was the guys at Fretnot, or if it showed up to them that way, or if they're getting blemished or seconds to give away. I don't know. Don't really care. I can probably fix that up with some epoxy. But one thing that is really odd about this is it's got a single binding. The binding is white. The binding is white on the fretboard as well, but the pick guard and the the pickup frames, or whatever you call those, they're the cream colored, and the pickup, the dual humbucker and the knob cap there, it's all the cream colored. So having that white and then the antique sort of cream colored stuff is a little weird. It doesn't, I don't know, that doesn't look right in my opinion. But anyway, neat looking logo. Probably a decal. Let's see what else. So yeah, that's about all I can say about it. It sounds really good. It's a nice sounding guitar. So we'll go over some of the tones. Okay, so these are coming out of Bias X. So this is the Bias Effects plugin. All right, here we go. We got a clean channel on this. So this is the bridge humbucker. middle. And the neck pickup. That one seems really hot. All right, this is middle. And the neck pickup. Okay, so once again, I'm not trying to claim that the Westcreek is a better guitar than the Heritage. Obviously, the Heritage is better made. It's, you know, it's the quality and the attention to detail on the Heritage is much better than a sort of very cheaply made guitar. But it's amazing how good the cheap budget guitars are. And when you consider what your needs are, if you're just a home player and you're recording your own music to maybe release on the streaming services, maybe you don't gig, maybe you're just doing your own thing, maybe you don't even want anybody to hear your music, you're just recording it for your own enjoyment, then a guitar like this Westcreek is probably all you need. And when I talk about, you know, the budget guitars versus expensive guitars, it's in an effort to maybe save you from yourself, because I know there's a lot of people that are like I was when I was playing guitar. I'm an intermediate player. I don't have a ton of time to devote to practicing. I think even if I practiced every day, I would maybe get marginally better. I think there's a ceiling for some of us that we're going to reach, and we're going to sort of stay there. You know, in 2026, I'm planning on trying to learn more and get better at guitar and learn more about music and music theory. But for a lot of us, it's just a hobby. It's just a pastime, something to do. And I think we get it in our heads that if we just had that more expensive guitar, if we just had that Gibson, that Fender, or that other name brand guitar, then we would sound so much better. We would be a better player. But that isn't always the case. So it just kind of makes me wonder where these expensive guitars are going to fit in. And I know that, you know, Gibson, Fender, even Heritage, they're asking themselves the same questions, because, you know, if you look at this Westcreek, it's got some of the modern stuff on it, like the belly cutout and the, you know, the contoured heel. And then you take a look at the Firefly brand, and those are more of a traditional Les Paul style. But they're under, you know, they're under $250. This one here has some of those modern features like the heel carve and the belly carve. This one's made out of ash, it looks like, mahogany with an ash top. So that's kind of cool. And but then if you look at some of these other ones, they feature sort of the more traditional Les Paul style with the, you know, the heel block and the square back. And then you go into the Harley Bentons, and those, this is a Harley Benton's Reverb store. This is where people in the US can get them. And you can see here that this is you know, it's got the little volute there like this Westcreek does. And it's got the sort of the hand contour and the belly contour and the you know, the comfortable neck joint. And even Gibson with their Epiphone line is making Les Paul style guitars in the $300 range. If you don't mind the bolt-on neck, you can get the Les Paul Tribute, which does have the bolt-on neck, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. I know this one doesn't have binding on the body, but it does have binding on the neck. And then Heritage even has jumped into the budget guitar market with a $265 Les Paul style. This is the H150 Ascent, and this also has a bolt-on neck. And they have a set neck option, which is north of $600. And then if you really want the name brand, the name on the headstock, you can get a Gibson Les Paul Studio used from Reverb. This one's $675. And it says the condition is good. These are I actually own one of these in the brown color. These have an open pore finish on them, no binding. They have weight relief too, which is which is really nice, because Les Paul style guitars have a tendency to be very heavy. But look at, they got the vintage style Klussen deluxe tuning keys on them, and it fits the part. So it's you know, you can get into these guitars without spending a ton of money. If you go back to the Heritage guitar, the one that I just demoed is the standard, the old standard, and now Heritage is even sort of switching over to these. So they've got a push-pull coil tap for on the pickups, and then we have a weight relief body, and they're putting their custom shop pickups in these now. And they're calling it an elevated headstock design. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but they've gotten a lot of flack for that snake head headstock, which I actually kind of like. So I'm not sure what they're talking about. The Heritage logo adds polish, refine, new veneer with the Heritage logo. I don't know. I'm not sure what that means. And then 60s neck profile, and of course they say they're made in America. So there you go. What do you think? Would you pay more than $500 for a guitar? Do you think that name brand guitars are worth it? If you buy a name brand guitar, do you try to buy used? Do you go straight for the brand new ones off of Gibson or Fender's website, or Sweetwater or another vendor like that? Or do you shop Reverb and try to find something used? Let me know what you think in the comments. I think that you can get a great guitar for under $500. And if you're just playing in your home studio, even if you're recording music, you can see that they both sounded pretty good, and that's over a $2,000 difference between those two guitars. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody, and thanks again to Fret Not. I won that guitar from their giveaway. Appreciate those guys over there. Check them out. Links in the description. We'll see you again next time.